Hi guys, it's Robert from Palatown Bullies. I'm here with Patrick Harris, aka Fwee. He recently took second at the Sherwood Arkansas League Cup. Fwee, what did you play?
I played Gardevoir GX, Sylveon GX.
Okay, so let's go ahead and pan on to it.
Alright. So going into the deck, we have 3 Gardevoir GXs. We have 1 Gallade, 2 Kirlia. Get this out of the way. 4 Ralts, 2 Sylveon GX, 2 Eevees with the Energy Evolution ability, 3 Tapu Leles, and a 1/1 line of Octiliry. That's all the Pokemon. Now on to items. We played 4 Ultra Balls, 4 Rare Candies, 2 Field Blower, 2 Choice Bands, 2 Float Stones, and 1 copy of Super Rod. That's all the items. That's good. Alright, so on to supporters, we played 4 Ins, only 3 Sycamores, excuse me, 3 Guzma, 2 Brigette, 1 Acerola, and that's all for the supporters. We played 1 Parallel City Stadium. Now, energy, it's 4 DCs and 8 Fairy.
Alright, going into some of your matches today, of that day, what matchup would you say would have been your favorite?
Probably my top 8 match against Roger, who was also playing Sylveon Gardevoir. Just a really fun, skilled-based matchup, just back and forth.
And a lot would say that it's very similar to the old Mewtwo Wars. What would you think about that?
In a way, there's a lot more setup involved, because like everyone knows old Mewtwo Wars was just like DCE and sometimes a laser, or like when Muscle Band finally came out, Muscle Band. This is a little bit worse than that, I think, because you have to take your time to set up, and also Sylveon GX is kind of also in the play, and a lot of people like don't really think about the GX attack being as devastating as it is. Because whenever I played against Roger, I had the Parallel City Stadium out, but putting his bench down to 3. And I just took his 1 Sylveon that he had built up and sent it back to his hand, and he didn't really have the time to recover after that, because then I had 2 Gardevoirs out, a Sylveon, Gallade, and everything else. But it's a very close mirror match. It almost literally comes down to, do you have the in when they Magical Ribbon? Like that's all it was. It was Magical Ribbon in, back and forth for like 3 or 4 turns before anyone actually did anything. But it's a very fun match. My worst match of the day, I think it was my first round. I was up against Metagross, and I think the only real reason I won is because he bricked really hard. Like, I didn't see... The only cards I saw out of his deck for 3 turns were a Tapu Lele that he started with, and a low-end Vulpix. And he didn't actually get a Beldum out until like turn 4 or 5. It was bad. But other than that, every other match I had throughout the day was really good. All very close. Except for our friend Clayton, who's from the Arkansas area. He kind of bricked really hard against me. He played it in and drew like, I think, 4 energies and Max Elixir that missed. It was pretty bad.
What was he playing?
He's playing Volcanion. But he ended up making it the top cut, so the rest of his day went very well.
If there's any changes to your deck, what would they be?
So out of every card in the deck, the only one I didn't use the entire day was Acerola. But I didn't really need to, because like every matchup I was in, it was either you're one-shotting or you're getting one-shot back. So I didn't have to go against like Golisopod or any of these decks that just like, you know, spread damage or just try to like build up damage on your board. So it didn't really come in play at all. But I wouldn't change it. Again, it was just the matchups didn't get there, but it's a really good card in the deck. But other than that, I wouldn't change anything. The list itself, as you noticed, it's the same list that Tablemon and his team all play. It's card for card. And I believe that it is the way to play Sylveon. Like I've tested out other builds, and it's just the only one that's consistent and just seems to be the best.
And by Sylveon, I assume you mean Guardy.
What do you mean?
You said it's the only way to play Sylveon.
Well, both.
Yeah.
I mean, whichever way you go with it. Yeah, it's the only way to play it.
All right. And I guess let's go ahead and talk future. So we're going back to Arkansas for another League Cup.
Yes.
For those who don't know, we're from Shreveport, Louisiana. It's about a 3.5-hour drive for us just to play in a League Cup until we get our own, which will happen eventually. It just takes time.
Yeah.
With that being said, it is expanded.
Yes.
You give us a little teaser what you're playing?
Yeah, sure. We'll be playing the new Zoroark GX and Golisopod GX. Just going to try that out. Very aggressive style of deck. It sets up very nicely. I expect to see a lot of Seismitoad, so that's probably going to help out a lot. Plus,
Go ahead.
Oh, plus the stand-in, you know, letting you reset your Golisopod every single turn is really nice. So.
Now, overall, at the event,
Yes.
did you enjoy yourself? Did you have any issues about the event?
The event itself was very well done. Yeah, the TO, she did a great job of putting it together, and it was a lot of fun. I want to give a shout out to, oh God. I'll think of it later.
Micah?
Was it Mike? Yeah, Micah for judging. He's a really cool dude. Sorry. But, you know, just like everyone else that was like from that area that's just really solid players, really good people, you know. And you've probably like seen the comments in Hey Fonte about it, but we had one player that kind of rubbed everyone the wrong way. Hopefully we won't see him again.
Yeah.
But
we're not.
Yeah. But he's playing Sylveon, or not Sylveon. Solgaleo. Which, you know, if anyone has seen that new card coming out, that's the deck to play. Get your stuff now, or order mine. It's really cheap. Go for it. But, yeah, overall, it was just a really good trip. Really good tournament.
Any other shout-outs while you're here?
I guess I'll shout to, like, our local players who helped me play test for the event. Robert behind the camera.
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, cool. Jesse Stuckey. That's really about it. That's like the only people I play test with. Of course, we have like our friends JB, Kat, really cool people. Brian, who I played against in round 4. He was playing Volcanion. And if you don't know much about the Volcanion Guardy matchup, it's pretty heavily favored in the Guardy, just from the amount of energy they have to stack. But he did a really, really good job of like trying to play through the matchup. And ultimately, I just drew the cards I needed to get out of stalling and other things. But that's about it.
All right. Well, I appreciate your time, and hopefully we'll get to do another one of these about next weekend.
Maybe.
All right. Peace out, guys.